Hi, my name is Mara. When I was asked this question, I could think back to times in my childhood where I can definitely see impactful moments that really shaped my views as well as the values I have today. Some of these things happen by chance and others were not so much, but one of the first ones that I can think back to involved where I grew up in my neighborhood. It was mostly a white middle-class neighborhood. There was one family on our street that was black, and I remember the neighborhood boys referring to the boy in the family as the black kid, not by his name Justin, and they would call him this to his face, and I knew that wasn't right, even though I was at a very young age. But it made me feel uncomfortable. But at the same time, I also felt uncomfortable saying anything to these neighborhood boys. I didn't want to be the one that was made fun of. But I could always tell that it bothered Justin, even though he never stood up and said anything to them. But he wouldn't come out and play as often as the rest of the kids, and that's not fair to anyone growing up as a kid. So I feel like seeing that at an early age definitely impacted me, and I know it's hard for anyone to stand up and say something, but I realized looking back on that I would want to say something when I saw something like this occurring, even though it's not easy. I would rather feel uncomfortable saying something and standing up for someone than letting an injustice go without anything being done about it. And I remember also some of the neighborhood kids, their parents would also refer to Justin as the black kid, and that really bothered me. And it was it created a conversation within my own immediate family of how do you stand up for someone in a respectful way so that they are given as much respect as the next person. So I think having those conversations from an early age definitely impacted my view of life and treating people with respect and dignity. Another thing that probably occurred shortly after that, so still as a child, was when my parents signed me up to play basketball. I assumed I would be on the same team with all the kids from my grade school, which was mostly white Catholic grade school. But when I went for the first team practice, I was on a different team than all the rest of my friends. So I was on a team that was quite culturally diverse. We had other people that were Catholic, we had people that were Jewish, we had black, we had white. It was a very diverse group of girls. At first I was upset simply for the fact that I wasn't on the same team as my friends. And I also, looking back too, saw that my parents, they were mostly friends with my friends' parents, so they were then put to socialize with a different group of adults as well. So once I got over the fact that I wasn't on the same team as my friends, all I really cared about was playing basketball, and it didn't really matter who with. And these girls ended up being some of my best friends, and my parents ended up being best friends with their parents. So it was a situation that none of us really expected or signed up for necessarily, but it was a great experience. I do remember some of the comments that were said to me during that time, like some of the other girls or even their parents would say, "Why don't you transfer to the other team? Like, you don't fit in on that team." And I remember saying, I fit in with this team. They're my friends, and I enjoy playing with them. And some girls did transfer off of the team that I was on to be with the other ones from my grade school. But I think, again, having the conversation with my parents at an early age really helped me see the importance of not being discriminatory and seeing the injustices that do occur, and just having that conversation was so important and really shaped my life. And I think having my parents as role models has really helped with that and the experiences that I've had from that age and on. Thank you.